Okay, so your first step for the bug project is to find different parts about your bug that you really, really like. Like, what was the interesting part that made you choose the bug that you did? Now, for mine, I'm doing the iridescent bark mantis. And the things that I thought were kind of cool about it was, the shape of the claws that are here. I thought that the big eyes and around, the shape of its head was pretty interesting. So when you start to think about your bug and what you thought is interesting on it, think about, how things are going to look in the viewfinder. Like if I was to zoom in on this area here and zoom in on this. So think about how you want to portray those neat parts of your bug. Now I printed a picture off of my bug that I've chosen. And then I'm going to start to work on, okay, how am I going to lay this out? So you need to have, at least 6 different parts of your bug on here. So maybe, and I'm going to use a ruler, but you can, use what you have if you don't have a ruler. And think about, okay, maybe for the head shape, I want to create a square for that. So maybe I'll make my square, a couple millimeters long. So I'll just start here. And you guys can just do this on your sketchbook page. So decide how big you want your square and kind of go into that. So I'm going to make mine about 8 millimeters. And then I'll connect the bottom here. And when you're doing this, you can draw it kind of lightly. I'm drawing it dark so that you can see it on the projector. Okay, and maybe for this part of it, I want to focus in on, say, the claw. So I'm going to imagine, and kind of use this as a reference. It kind of goes like an extended L shape. And bring that kind of going up. And I'm going to fill in that square with the shape of the claw. And then it starts to kind of like taper down and then goes around to create that type of claw. So I'm focused on like this area right here on my bug. It's got like these pointy things that are coming off of it. And this bottom one here is longer than the other ones. So I'm going to start to draw it and then go back in and add these smaller ones. So there's about 3 of those. So there's 1, 2, and 3. And there's almost like a little rounded little nub here. And I'm just going to use this and use my reference image. You may have to have yours on your screen as you work on yours, at your desk or at your table or whatever. And then go from there. Okay, so I've got at least one part drawn. Okay, so maybe I want to draw another shape, like maybe here. Okay, so I'm going to take my straight edge again. Maybe this time I want to do like a diamond shape. Alright, so there's the kind of like the top of my diamond. I'm going to finish it, the bottom part. Okay, and then maybe I want to focus on like the head in there. So maybe this part here is the next thing that I want to focus on. So I'm going to take a peek at that, and like in between the eyeballs, there is, like their head shape essentially. It's kind of like a rounded square. And then they've got a little bit of a mouth to them that is rounded up. Okay, and they have like these little pincher things on either side. And they've got these big old eyeballs. And if it goes outside of my diamond shape, the shape I've drawn, I'm just going to keep it contained in the shape that I've drawn. Okay, so then I've got 1, 2, then I got to be able to do, a couple more throughout. But hopefully this is enough to kind of get you started. So you could start by drawing the shapes and then filling those in and just getting the basics drawn, and then go back in and add your colors with your colored pencils or your watercolors and stuff like that. So this is just the beginning, okay, and this is going to take you several days to do. And if we go remote longer than December 7th, then we'll continue to work on this the following week as well. Or if you come back to school, like whatever you have drawn from there, like we'll continue to work on it there too. So if you've got any questions, you can email me and I'll do a Google Meet with you, and we'll just kind of go from there and check on progress as you go. So